Hello everyone, it's Liz back again, the Light Siren, here for your Virgo full moon energy update. This one's going to be a little longer. I'm getting some major downloads, like wow, as I'm channeling this, I know this video is about to be a bit extra. It's going to be a little longer than normal, but it's all coming through for you, for us, so I'm going to break this down into 4 parts, and I'll timestamp them below, but I really encourage you to watch the whole video. If you want to hear about this energy update, if you want to learn about attachment styles and relationships and herbs for immunity, you can stay and watch the whole thing, but if you just want to learn how to make fire cider, then you can skip till the end, okay? So without further ado, this full moon Virgo during Pisces season, with Mercury going direct in Aquarius, is the final culmination of a karmic cycle. It's not that heavy, don't worry. But you could be experiencing like flashes of clarity and trauma from the past, having dreams as kind of revelations on your lifestyle or psyche. I know for myself, the past 24 hours has brought incredible downloads on healing trauma and wounds from the past, especially dealing with relationships and family. So especially our relation to our parents, okay, and how they cared for us, because Virgo in the 6th house, okay, that's Virgo's house, is all about health and service, okay? And a part of that is how we serve our family, how we serve our community, right? And with Mercury going direct in Aquarius and Pisces season still drowning us, a big part of this full moon is a question of how do we relate in our familial relationships? Do we have healthy attachment styles in our adult relationships? Are we replaying out old patterns from childhood and family and re-traumatizing ourselves in order to learn? Well, if you feel like you have been kind of cycling through, patterns in your adult relationships of re-traumatizing and just going through the same thing over and over, such as like codependent relationships or attracting people who are emotionally unavailable, it's okay. About 80% of change in your life starts with self-awareness. You can't change something you're not aware of. So if you are having these kind of cyclic patterns, don't worry, because this full moon moment, for a lot of us folks, if we want it to be, is marking the end of this cycle of learning out of karmic wounding and ancestral wounding and, culture wounding, all of this. It could go back generations, It could be epigenetic, like it could actually be in your DNA. But we have the choice to stop it here. You know now what you want, what you need, how you want to update your relationships, and how you want to update how you relate to others. If you don't understand this that well, I'm going to explain now about attachment styles to get you, your brain working, thinking about this stuff. If you do already know about this stuff, you can skip ahead to the next part, okay? But this is really important to understand because, like I said, with self-awareness, if we understand how we're relating to others and our attachment style, and if that is not working for us and it's not putting us in alignment with our highest self and our highest good, then we need to work to change that, okay? So there are 4 types of attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, or ambivalent. You can call it either one. Disorganized, and secure. Everyone has some semblance of a secure style in which we feel safe to share, we hold space with a partner, and we can safely attach and express emotions with the partner, and we can still be ourselves and feel our own independence. That is being secure. We all feel that sometimes. However, a lot of us have at least 2 main styles. We tend to either be more anxious or more avoidant. Anxious attachment brings in a sense of instability in the relationship, usually coupled with abandonment fears. So people who are anxious in relationships need much more validation and can be seen as needy. For example, they need multiple check-ins every night while you're out of town or out with friends, and they will disregard a partner's boundaries to achieve a validated sense of closeness. People who are anxious may have had parents who were either emotionally unstable, like the child never knew what they were going to get, or they may have felt abandoned, either by the death of a parent or had a physically or emotionally absent or neglectful parent. So as adults with attachment styles that are anxious, we end up trying to seek the validation, attention, nurturing, and love from partners that we didn't regularly get from our parents as children. So there's this codependency here, which tends to attract actually the opposite side of the spectrum, which is avoidant. Avoidant people in relationships tend to fear losing their autonomy, their identity, or their independence and freedom. These people may have had anxious attached to parents who either disregarded their boundaries and invaded their privacy regularly, or parents who tried to live vicariously through them and tried to control their identity or lifestyle. This creates a kind of escapism in avoidant adults who tend to do more of the ghosting that we all hate and are less likely to be emotionally available for their partner. When an anxious and an avoidant person get together, it creates this codependent situation in which both people are seeking to reenact these childhood dynamics, which, if this is a conscious situation and both people are aware of these dynamics, this kind of relationship, if there's love involved and an openness to change, it can actually turn into a very healing relationship. The way we learn to be good partners is by having relationships. If it was easy to learn this stuff on our own, there wouldn't be such a thing as having a relationship, right? All of life is mirrors and relating, okay? Disorganized attachment is when a person kind of flip-flops from anxious to avoidant. So you can also have a situation where both people have a tendency to either be anxious or avoidant, and they're both kind of playing the role of each one as the other one mirrors the other. Does that make sense? So like one person's being avoidant, the other person's being anxious, and it can flip-flop. Okay? So people that are more disorganized in their attachment style, they may have had a very abusive, emotionally unstable, invasive, and unavailable parents. So kind of a combo platter of all the bullshit parents can, offer an innocent child. But anywho, the energy now is very supportive of you ending the cycle of wound mate relationships. We have ended that karmic cycle of needing to recreate trauma to learn, and we can now call in supportive, healthy relationships in which we can serve each other, okay? So healthy service to one another. We can hold space for each other to work through emotions safely, talk about our triggers as they come through, and work through them to understand trauma on a deep level, and create secure attachment. Attachment is not unhealthy. We can be fearful of attachment, like I said, for whatever the anxious or avoidant reason, but attachment is natural and is healthy in human relationships. So with Aquarian energy coming through, this is a beautiful energy to commit to your independence and autonomy while understanding that that doesn't mean you have to compromise your place in a relationship or in your community, right? So you can be attached and have secure relationships and still be independent and still be yourself. Virgo teaches us to serve ourselves and others, focus on healthy bonds and community, and a healthy lifestyle, calling in the healing energy of the earth to teach us to hold space and receive from others while serving them, and to work diligently through struggles rather than replaying the same old shit. I absolutely love this energy. Was anyone else up late last night? I was up at like 3 a.m. literally dancing for the moon in my backyard. She was like my own personal disco ball, and it was so healing. Anyway, so healthy family, healthy relationships is one aspect that's coming through with this moon, but the other is actual physical health. Especially, if you guys haven't checked out my monthly collective sign readings, you really should. The Virgo monthly reading for March, I felt a lot of anxious energy coming through about coronavirus, which makes sense because Virgos are very health focused, and they can also, they're mercurial, so they can tend to overthink a little bit. So I just wanted to talk about immunity and physical health in light of coronavirus. I feel that we are being called at this time, with this virus coming through, to update how we approach health. Okay? This is a major download I got. This is a call to get back to the earth. Because viruses are not bacterial infections. We can't use antibiotics, okay? But we can live a lifestyle that supports a healthy immune system so that we don't get sick in the first place. Even if you get a virus, it doesn't have to be activated. A virus, whatever colds or flus you've had in your life, those viruses are probably still in your body. It's just they remain dormant until your body is weak enough to attack your immune system. As our vibration raises, we have to adjust what we feed our physical avatars, right? And with all these updates we've been getting in the past few months, and this Aquarian age coming through, we can't stay in the old paradigm of trying to cure everything with allopathic medicine, right? Like, don't wait to get sick to work on your health. The point is to update and raise your vibration so that you don't have to get sick in the first place. As our vibration raises, we have to adjust what we feed our physical avatars. So, plants vibrate higher than meat. okay? Because plants are living. Meat is a dead animal. And I'm not saying you have to go vegan, because honestly being vegan is not healthy for everyone. But limiting meat from mammals especially will help you and the earth greatly. So try to stick to poultry and fish. Meat is like a minimal food though, okay? You know, it's like the icing on the cake, so to speak. Our meals should be plant-based and have meat kind of as a treat with the meal. You should have an emphasis on plants, and especially food medicines such as herbs and roots. That will be what makes the difference for you. Virgo is calling us to come back to the earth, to foraging, nuts and berries, growing your own food, using herbs, using food as medicine, okay? Walking along the path and munching on herbs we find on the trail, okay? These are our ancestral roots. This is what allowed us to evolve and to be protected before we had actual medicine, right? I know we didn't live as long, but folk medicine, folk herbalism goes back centuries. And in almost every single culture in the world, you can trace back roots of herbalism and medicine making using food and nature. I'm doing a 3-month spring clean cleanse, which I structured for me and my sister. But if you want to join, you can DM me on Instagram at the Light Siren. I'll be announcing all the details on Instagram and doing regular updates there, so make sure that you check it out. I'm starting this cleanse today in honor of the Virgo full moon, but you can join me at any time. Whenever you see this video and you're called to it, maybe that's the time for you. Joining me on this cleanse will include a personalized food plan, herb and supplement regimen, one-on-one coaching, and community support. So now I'd like to talk about the immune system and herbs. Our immune system is directly tied to our gut and our lymphatic system. And to make this short and sweet, I'm just going to briefly talk about the lymph system. We have hundreds of lymph nodes all over our body, and these nodes are basically storage units for all the nasty stuff that comes into our system from the outside world. So the system works very well. We evolved in this way for a reason. As it detoxes itself while we sleep, it doesn't have its own pump. And our modern lifestyle doesn't necessarily promote healthy sleep. So we evolved as hunter-gatherers who were constantly on the move. So the movement of the body is the pumping mechanism to get the lymph moving, the lymph fluid moving, and to push out the gross stuff, which would then be cleaned out during a full night's rest from sunrise to sunset. The point of cleansing isn't to, make your body detox, because your body should be able to do that regularly. That's part of the way we evolved. But our lifestyle, the modern lifestyle with 9-to-5 jobs, our eating habits, the standard American diet, this has kind of dampened our ability to detoxify on our own. So the first step to a healthy immune system is movement and sleep. Try to move throughout the day. You don't even have to do vigorous exercise constantly, but regularly stretching, taking 15-minute breaks at work to walk, taking little dance breaks in the bathroom, doing some stretches, some yoga, whatever it is. If you work a sit-down job, you kind of need to do some more vigorous exercise once a day, because sitting all day basically cuts off your circulation, and it doesn't help your lymph pump and all that. It's no good, basically. Yeah, just move. And then, of course, limit blue light exposure 2 hours before sleep so your body can produce some melatonin to get you sleepy. You can get a red light filter on your phone, on your computer, or you can get glasses to actually wear if you have to use devices at night. So try to get at least 8 hours of sleep, and yeah, that's pretty good. To support the lymph and immune system, you can also take lymph-moving herbs and preventative immunity boosting herbs. With this Mercury retrograde, even the tarot videos I've been kind of struggling to talk, but we're good here. So yeah, to support the lymph and immune system, you can also take lymph-moving herbs and preventative immunity-boosting herbs. Calendula, dandelion, and red clover are gentle lymph movers that are safe to take every day in tincture or tea form. Echinacea and elderberry are good preventative herbs to prevent a virus from activating. Okay, cordyceps, turkey tail, and reishi are fun guys, mushrooms to take, and you can eat them during flu season or get a supplement. But fire cider is one of my favorite kind of folk medicines. It's a folk medicine remedy to take while you're sick. It helps you drain and release, but it can also be used as a daily preventative. It has immunity-boosting, tasty culinary herbs such as rosemary, thyme. You can put sage, garlic, turmeric, ginger, onion, horseradish, really anything like culinary you can put in there, okay? It's made with apple cider vinegar, so that in itself has cleansing properties, okay? So now we're going to transition here, and I'm going to show you how to make it. All right, hello. So what you're going to need to make fire cider, you're going to need some jars, some mason jars. I have like 2 of these smaller ones here. I don't even know if I have enough stuff for 2, but I'm going to make 1, and then I can see if I can make 2 after. Get some kind of vessel to put your fire cider in after it's done, okay? So this is like a little bottle that I had fire cider in before, and I finished it, so I gotta refill it. You'll need some apple cider vinegar, raw honey, if you want the raw honey. If you don't want to do sugar, that's fine. And then these are the herbs that I chose for today. I have burdock root, which is really good for digestion. Ginger, this is a warming, circulatory herb. It also is, it can move stuff while you're sick if you have any, congestion up here. It's also good for the gut. Turmeric, very anti-inflammatory as well. I have rosemary. This is one of my favorite culinary herbs. It's really delicious, very fragrant, floral, and it's really good for a lot of different uses. You can even use it for scalp health, but it's also very anti-inflammatory and it's mood boosting. So, yeah, sniffing it while you cook or while you make this will really boost your mood. Lemon, obviously, vitamin C, very clarifying. Garlic. Garlic is one of the best things to always have in your house, not just because it's absolutely delicious and everything, pretty much, but garlic is very antimicrobial. It can kill any bacteria, and it also just helps boost the immune system in general. I also have a jalapeno, but you can choose to use habanero or any other kind of spicy pepper, like cayenne is a really good one. Cayenne is very, very moving, okay? Depending on how spicy, that's why it's called fire cider, right? So depending on how spicy you want this to be, you can add as much or as little of the spicy elements as you want. I also got cilantro. Cilantro is a very cleansing herb, and it also smells absolutely delicious. So, real quick with the ginger, turmeric, and burdock, I want to show you a really good trick to peeling it. All you need is a spoon. And I'm going to show you up close. This is kind of weird. All you need to do is scrape it with a spoon. I already did this one, but yeah. See that? It just peels right off. So, pro tips. Yeah, so then just cut up your stuff, put as much or as little of everything as you want, depending on what your focus is. So for me, it's less about moving and more on the anti-inflammatory side. That's kind of my focus for this cleanse, is anti-inflammatory. But you will have some moving going on with the jalapeno ginger as well. You don't even have to cut it up that much, just kind of chunk it, because the vinegar is what's going to extract the medicinal elements of everything. When you're making medicine, there's a variety of ways to extract plant constituents, the medicinal elements of the plant. You can use alcohol, you can use glycerin, you can use vinegar. The only difference is what you're trying to extract, what kind of constituent. Like if it's an alkaloid, it's better in vinegar. And some things don't extract in water, so then, But yeah, for fire cider, vinegar is the way to go. So the rosemary, I'm not even going to cut. I'm just going to strip it. From September to November of last year, I was an intern for Herb Farm. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're a medicine company that makes tinctures. If you go to like Whole Foods or whatever, they're the yellow labels. But yeah, I learned how to make fire cider there, and fire cider was popularized by Rosemary Gladstar in I think the 70s, but it's been a folk medicine remedy for a really long time. And while I was at Herb Farm doing this internship, there was actually still a case going on. A company was trying to patent fire cider, LOL capitalism, but actually the herbalists won, which was awesome. So we got to celebrate that and make fire cider while I was there. Yeah, fire cider, you can use that name legally. You can make it. You can sell it legally by using that name because it's, you know, it's just like lemonade. You can't patent the term lemonade. It's just something people make, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to cut these. Yeah, you kind of just do it as you go and do whatever. Like, you can't really go wrong with fire cider. You know what I mean? Like, you just do what feels right. It's very intuitive. That's like the whole thing with folk medicine is it's intuitive. And, you know, the more you work with plants, the more you get to know the plant spirits. And you really learn to listen to your intuition especially. And learn how the plant makes you feel, what chakras it activates. And yeah, just the whole process of medicine making is very therapeutic. You know, as you're doing it, you're smelling things. You know, citrus, when you smell citrus, it actually boosts your mood. So I like to use cooking in general as a mindfulness practice to just feel really good. Okay, really important with cayenne and jalapenos, okay? Do not rub your face after you touch these, and wash your hands immediately after. We had a situation on the farm, at Herb Farm, after we made fire cider, and I think, or maybe it was when we were doing ferments, I don't know, but one of the people in our groups used a lot of peppers, and they burned the heck out of their hands, and I felt so bad, but it turned into this joke about spicy hands, and it was just, yeah, it was good stuff. Okay, so this boy is packed. So, after you pack in your good, I'm so weird. I'm going to put in my honey first, just so it kind of sinks to the bottom. And I'm just going to put like a good tablespoon, because even though honey is sugar, when you get raw honey, it has really good enzymes in it that can help boost your immunity. So, yes. Honey is like so sensual when you like pour it in anything. Mm-hmm. Alright, it's also really good for the throat if you just eat it. So then your apple cider vinegar. Just pour that baby in there to the top. Now I did forget to get one thing at the store. You need parchment paper, okay? Or wax paper, whatever it's called. Because you can't put vinegar on these metal tops because it'll oxidize it, it'll erode it. So make sure you get parchment paper, you put that over top, and then you put the top on, okay? So parchment paper, then you twist on the cap, all right? So yeah, that's how you make fire cider. After you put the parchment paper on, twist on the lid. There she is. It's my sister's stuff. She's doing the cleanse with me. You can follow her at OwnYourBold on Instagram. So yeah, parchment paper, twist on the lid. In actual folk medicine, they actually would bury this in the ground for a moon cycle. You don't have to get that extra, but if you're feeling extra witchy, you can definitely do that. I'm probably going to do that. But yeah, you can just let it sit like in a, cool, dark place for at least 2 weeks, okay? I'm going to do probably a full moon cycle, but, in light of coronavirus and everything, if you want to just do it 2 weeks just to have it ready to go ahead and do that. And then what you would do is just strain it, bottle it, there you go. Put it in your fridge. You can take it every single day as a preventative, or you can, you know, just have it in stock in case you get sick, and then you can take a shot of it, you know, and let all the snot drain, all that good stuff. So, yep. So yeah, enjoy this full moon, all right? You can meditate, release any negative thoughts. You know, we're completing patterns of old behavior, okay? So get your life right. That's what Virgo wants you to do. Update, do yoga, hell yeah. This energy is ripe for a major upgrade, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually upgrading. And if you're overthinking and stressing about this new virus, don't call it in. Just support your body with a healthy lifestyle, boost your immune system, intend on staying well and healthy, and you got nothing to lose, okay? And please wash your hands, all right? Don't hang out with sick people, okay? Bye!